And so here's the transmit filter board on the Pegasus, and I finally got that socket in there. It looks nice, so if you take your time and get the socket in nicely, looks like a factory job, except for the hacking I did there on the header, but the socket's in, so I don't like this thing. I hit that a few times. Anyway, the socket's all in there, so pop a new chip in there and see if these relays fire up. That took a lot of work. That was probably like a 2 hour waste of time for me. I don't like spending my life replacing chips, but that's how it goes. If you want to restore a 1990s, late 90s radio, it's got chips in it. That's how it is. Anyway, here's the welder I use. I've had this welder soldering iron forever. This is probably a vintage of the 80s kind of thing. What is this thing? It's a welder. An old welder. I've never even replaced the tip on it or anything. I don't use it that often, but it's been used. It's just been ticking away since 1980. That's a long time. 80, 90, 00, 20, it's 40. I've had it 40 years, 42 years. About 40 years, I guess. 42 years. Anyway, I also inherited the solder when I had a job back in 1980 at Omnidata, when I was a technician there repairing polycorders and calibrating polycorders. And anyway, they gave me the solder here to solder data coders together, and I kept the solder, and it served me well. It's probably half gone now. In 40 years, I've used half of it. I would say I've used a lot of it in the recent year, just fixing Drake radios and fixing radios in general. So it's been a hobby. Anyway, back to this guy. So I did put this Drake R4B on eBay. Works really good. I'm happy with it. This Paragon, I'm enjoying this radio as far as trying to figure out how to program it. I'm not sure I'll actually get the radio to work as far as transmit, and I have about 20 days left where I can return it to the seller and to say, here you go, because I paid $427 for a non-working Pegasus. I'm still, as you know, trying to fix the darn thing, so this took some time tonight. So when the socket comes, or chip comes in, I'll pop it in there. It'll probably still have a problem with the final. And I think the 160 band line to enable the relay is burned up too. I don't know yet. So we'll see how that works. Once that chip's in there, we'll see how things work. But yeah, this is taking some time. Anyway, I've been trying to figure out how this protocol works. And I've been hitting this thing with the Mac to see what I can do with it. And what do I mean by that, you ask? Maybe I can show you if I can log on. All right, I've logged on to the Mac. Let me show you what I've been doing here. If there's nothing too terribly personal up here. All right, here's the project I've been working on right here. So this bunch of code, I found this code on GitHub by some guy had written it to control a Python code he'd written to control an RX320, a Ten Tec RX320. So I've been modifying this code to control this Pegasus, and he had it in two files. He had a file that does the, that's the guy right there, and I stuck my name below it, I guess. He wrote this stuff, and it's for the RX320, which is a receiver. So what he did well was the threading part. He got the threading good, so it'll thread and it will read. So he had all this stuff in green here that didn't work well for me. So what I found to read this Pegasus, I just have this stuff like this, and it seems like it works. And then he has a bunch of commands here to tell the Pegasus what to do. I haven't got the Pegasus to come up and even receive yet, so I don't know. I'm doing something wrong here, but it's pretty cool. He has this thing in like a server here where you'll initialize the radio. So initialize it, and then you can actually telnet to the radio, telnet to this port on this thing, and then you can, that's the port right there, the default of the ports right here. You can telnet to it and give a command. So I'm hoping to get this working, and it's been a slow boat to China to figure this out. Anyway, that's been the project with the Pegasus. I've been mucking around with the Python more than actually fixing the Pegasus itself. Like, I didn't really have any parts to fix it with, so this chip is coming in from Dayton, Ohio. When I get this driver chip, it's actually an LED driver chip they're using in here. And once that little chip comes in, we'll put that in and see what it does with this Pegasus. Here's the chip again that I hacked out of this thing. There it is. That is an LED driver. So I guess that they just want to use some kind of driver, which is fine. It doesn't matter if it's an LED driver. Anyway, that's probably enough to drive those relays. And this chip ran extremely hot. I mean, it didn't burn your finger, but it was super hot. And there were no relays firing. And on this side of the chip right here, that's the input side, and it goes right to this stick pin thing here, which goes right over to here, right to that pin there. And these wires were locked. They were held at a certain voltage by a bad chip here. So when I took the chip out and disconnected the transmitter filter board, I was able to see these wires react to the right band. So I know that we're getting input to this chip, and I thought, yeah, it's going to be a bad chip, so I got rid of it. I have a Pegasus, Ten Tec Pegasus, and they had a bad driver chip. I think lightning hit the Pegasus or something, and some guy put a socket in, and even that chip went bad, so I put a new chip in the Pegasus. It wasn't the same chip, and that fixed the Pegasus. And it's the same thing. The Pegasus, no, I'm sorry, not the Pegasus, the Paragon. The Paragon had a bad chip. So the Paragon uses a different driver chip, but the same kind of exact thing. So Ten Tec does everything the same, where they have the CPU or something drive these lines high for selecting a band, and then they hit these relays in the filter board. All these Ten Tecs work the same. So anyway, I figured, yeah, it's not the same chip, but same kind of deal. So you figure each band has a relay. Okay, let's see. 160 is a big coils, right? Yep. So here it's probably like 160, 80, 40. Might be like 30, 20, 15, 10. I'm guessing that's how it goes. So 160, 80, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, let's see, 160, 80, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, something like that, I guess. I don't know. I guess I could read it here. Why not? Let's see what this thing says here. It says, yeah, 160, 80. I can't make that number out. Something. 40, 30, 20, 17, 15, 12, 10. There you go. Right from the horse's mouth. All right, well, I hope this video helped you, or at least entertained you. That's what I'm doing with the Pegasus. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.